Welcome guys. Today we will work on sidebar navigation. Sidebar navigation is an important aspect of every web application. Major web application like Gmail, Facebook, YouTube use sidebar navigation. In Gmail, we have hamburger icon. When we press this hamburger icon, left sidebar appears. Similarly, YouTube also use sidebar navigation. Even Facebook use two sidebar navigation. One is left sidebar navigation, other is right sidebar navigation. So guys, this is a sidebar navigation example we will going to be create. So first, this is a header section. There is a text logo, image logo, and there is a hamburger icon. Below that, there is an image and paragraph as a content. So when we click this hamburger icon, a sidebar will appears from the left side. Okay. Similarly, when we cross this icon, sidebar will disappear. Okay. So in the sidebar, we have home, navigation link, about, service, blog, and content section. In the bottom part, there is some social links we have added in the example. One more thing, when we hover the mouse over the navigation links, there is an effect will be appear onto the screen. Okay, we will create this effect in the example. Okay, so let's start with the coding. First, we will create a file named sidebar.html. I will also create a CSS file named sidebar.css. Okay, so let's create the basic structure for sidebar navigation. So first, create a skeleton named title as sidebar navigation. Okay, in the body, we will create the structure as first we create the header section, then create the content section, and last we create sidebar section. So let's start with header part. In the header, we will create first image logo. In the image, we add a logo, and then we also add some text logo. So I add h1. I named as full stack. Okay, now let's add CSS for sidebar navigation. So first we link the CSS file. We use link tag in the header section. Okay, and add the name of the CSS file. So your CSS sidebar CSS. Okay, so that's all about connecting the external CSS file. So let's move to the CSS file. So first we reset padding and margins. So for that we use universal selector and add padding 0, margin 0, box sizing, border box. Okay, first we target the header section. So we use header, width will be 100%, height 70 pixel, and background color. For background color, we use the color palette, and we find the link for background color is this dark one. Okay, I copied the color and back to the coding part, and then paste the color here. So save it. Let's see the output of the let's see the output. And you see there is a header section, the logo section, and the text logo section. So let's arrange these things accordingly. So let's back to the code. In the header section, we also add display flex, justify content, center, align item, center. Now let's target the first image section. So for that, header image width will be 70 pixel, height will be 70 pixel. Okay, now target the h1 section. Line height should be 70 pixel, color should be white, and now add font family in the universal section. Font family Arial. Okay, now save the changes. Let's refresh the output screen. Now we have the text logo and the image. So we need some add margin between the text and image logo. For that, in the image section, let's add margin right. I add 15 pixel. So save it. Let's see the changes. Okay, now there will be some margin between the logo and full stack. So for the content section, let's back to the HTML file and add some content in the content section. First, we add an image. So I added image. Now add some paragraph and lorem 500. Okay, let's see the result. Okay, now in order to align the image and the text, let's go for the CSS section. So first, target the content section area. Width will be 100%. I add some padding 20 pixel. Okay, now target the image part. So width will be 100%. Max width will be 700 pixel. Okay, in order to center the image, I use display block margin auto, margin auto. Now target the paragraph part section. So content P, I make the text align, justify. So let's see the output of the effect. So just refresh it. So image will be center, content will be center to the screen. Okay, now let's work on sidebar section. Okay, so let's go to the sidebar section. For that, first go to the HTML section and add unordered list to the sidebar. So first I add unordered list having list item of 5, having an anchor tag reference equal to hash, enter. Now I'm going to add icons to that sidebar. Okay, so for that I select all list items and add icon class So fa font awesome icon class. So fa home. Okay. I'm also adding span tag and adding to the content to the span tag. Okay. So first is home, second is about, third is services, fourth one is blog, and fifth one is contact link. Okay. For the icons, I use for the contact I use ID card. For blog, I use the icon RSS. For the services, I use the icon named tasks, and for about, I use the icon called user. So I have already added the classes for the icons, but in order to work these icons, I have to add a font awesome icon link to the this section. So find out the font awesome icon link. So font awesome CDN. So click on the link, select HTML link, copy the link and paste into the link section. Okay, now save the file, check the result onto the check the result, refresh. Okay, now let's style this sidebar. Okay, so I target sidebar class. First width will be 20%, height 100%, height 100%. So in order to make the sidebar fix, I use position property, position fixed, top 70 pixel, because there is another uh, horizontal navigation bar, so I use 70 pixel. So background color, for background color I use color palette again, so I choose this blue night color. So I copied the color and paste it here. Okay, so position fix. So I save the changes. Let's see the output of this result. So I use refresh, so sidebar appears. Okay, now let's work on the CSS part of these links. Okay, for that I use sidebar unordered list. So first list style will be none, sidebar unordered list item. So I add some border at the each list item. So for that I add border bottom 2 pixel solid. So I add RGBA color. So I add 255, 255, 255. 255 means white. So I add some opacity for this. So I add 0.1. So save the changes. See the result of this border bottom. So refresh the screen. So a border will be appear in the every li. Okay. Now I target the anchor element. So copy this class, paste here. Now type target anchor. For first I make display block, text decoration none, color white. Font size 20 pixel. Font size 20 pixel. Now I add some padding. So padding will be 15 pixel, 25 pixel. Okay, save the changes, see the result. Okay, now the icons appear, anchor appear. Now I add some margin to these icon and the text. For that, A and I, and add margin right. So I add margin right to 15 pixel. So you see, so there will be space between the icon and the text. Okay, now let's add hover effect. So instead of hover, I add a small border in front of the text. So for that, just copy this part. Okay, so hover. So instead of adding the usual hover effect, let's add something different. So I add left border left 5 pixel solid white. So you will see a different effect of hover. So save it, refresh it, let's hover it. So you see a white line is coming, so it will be a different hover effect. So I add this hover effect for this sidebar. Okay, okay, let's add some transition. So transition 0.4 second, so it will be a smoothing effect. So let's make the border slightly bigger, so 10 pixel. I think that's fine. So this will be a new effect. So now I'm adding some uh, icons here. Okay, so for that, let's back to the sidebar section. So below the unordered list, let's add some social links. Okay, so for that, just add anchor and add social links. So I first add I class equals to fa Facebook square. Okay, okay, let's see how it's look. Refresh. So there will be a Facebook icon. So I just copy it and some more icons below that. So one is called YouTube and one is for Instagram. So let's see. Okay, all the icons are available. Let's make it CSS for that. For that, just I and I add font size should be 20 pixel, add 30 pixel. Okay. Color should be white. Color should be white. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now let's make it bigger. Okay, let's make it bigger. So before that, I just add social. So text align. So just add display property, display flex, justify content. I just add space between. Okay, that's fine. Align item center. So font size should be slightly bigger at just 40 pixel. Okay, let's see how it's look. Okay, no, font size is not bigger than, so I add 30 pixel. So instead of space between, I add space evenly. Space evenly. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Uh, so so just add some border. So border bottom. So border bottom is 2 pixels solid RGBA. Okay. So you will see there is a border bottom. So add some padding. So padding will be, so add padding. So padding will be 15 pixel. So 15 pixel, 25 pixel. So just see how it's look. Okay, that's fine. So let's move it to the down to the screen. Okay, I also add some border top. So, so border top also, and make it slightly below. So margin top should be 200 pixel. I think that's enough. So just refresh. So it will be the below to the screen. So I think that's fine. So header is fixed, sidebar is fixed, so content is fixed. Let's add some icon here. So whenever I press that icon, it will be toggle. Okay, so for that, go to the sidebar menu, and before the div of sidebar, let's add first input for checkbox for the toggling purpose. So just add check. Now first add one label here, and for in the value of the 4, let's connect it to the input checkbox. So check. Now let's add the icon class here. So class is fa bars. Okay, fa bars. Make CSS for that. So I add some class here. So class is show button. Okay, or I also add one more label, and for that is for hiding purpose. Okay, so I also add hide, and the icon name is times. So save it. So let's add CSS for show and hide button. So just go to the bottom side, show button and hide button. So first, so font size will be 30 pixel, color should be white, so position should be fixed, where top to 30 pixel, and from left to, I think 50 pixel is enough. Just save it. Let's find either is it available. Yes, it is available. So let's slightly, let's move slightly upper part. So for that I will add 20 pixel. Okay, I think that will be the position of the this button. Let's make it slightly bigger. So I add 40. 40 is more bigger, so I'll add 35 pixel. I think 35 is fine. So when I press this button, so it should toggle. Okay, it should toggle the things. So for that, make it as, so first I just hide the second button. So just copy it, make it opacity 0. Okay, so it will be disappear. So when I press this button, so it will be moved slightly. This sidebar move will be from slide. When I press this icon, it will be come as a slide effect. Okay, for that, check, that is hash check checked, and the sidebar should be left 0. Okay, it will be left 0, so it should be initially left minus 100%. So let's see, is it work or not. Refresh. So slider appears. So let's add some transition in the sidebar section. So add the transition part here. Transition to be 0.7 second. Now, so let's see. Now it's appear from the left as a slide effect. Okay, now when I press, instead of this hamburger icon, it should be the cross icon. For that, I just copy this. So instead of slide button, instead of hamburger button, so I make show button to be opacity 0, and for hide button, the opacity will be 1. So let's see. So initially there will be a hamburger button. When I press this, it should be converted to the cross button. So when I cross it, it should be converted to a hamburger button. So the mechanism work here. Now let's work on this part. When the slider appears, the content should be moved towards right. So for that, so to make it to the float right, I should add width to be 80%. So just copy this part, and instead of hide button, I just add content, and for the content width should be now 80%. So you will see the effect of, okay, just refresh the thing. So when I press this, it should move right, but there will be the lack of transition effect. So add transition to the content part also. So go to the content section and add transition 0.7 second. Okay, now refresh it. So content will be moved right side. Okay, content towards right side, and there is a slider effect at the left navigation bar. Now let's make this sidebar responsive by using the media query. So for that, let's back to the code. Now to the bottom, add media max width should be 768 pixel. Okay, so for that, sidebar width with 100%. So let's check the responsiveness. Okay, so it's working. Okay, so for 768 pixel, it should cover the entire width. So let's make it to the center of the screen. Okay, so for that, I add text align center. Okay, so refresh it. So text is at the center, so it's responsive. Now one more thing, I make it disappear. So for that, So header h1 should be display none. Okay, so save it, refresh it, the text full stack will be disappear. Okay, and your left sidebar is also responsive. So guys, that's all about. We have created responsive sidebar. Thank you.